Hello, my name is Runa and I introduce you to Kuva Liches and how to take down your very first Kuva Lich. To be able to get a Kuva Lich, you need to have the quest War Within done and be at least Master Rank 5. You need to have a Railjack. You can only have one Kuva Lich or sister active at the same time. To get a Lich, I suggest Cassini on Saturn. It is a capture task, so it is pretty fast to run through. You load in, do your normal mission task. Some will say don't kill anything before you capture. I usually start already killing enemies before. I don't feel it change anything, but that is up to you. Go do your capture. And as soon as you captured the enemy or the target and you kill enemies around you, you will see as you can see, a light flicker. That is your first indication that you do everything right, by the way. Don't worry about it. You will continue killing enemies, and then pretty soon you will see a red dot spawning. That is the Lich. You will defeat it. I, for some reason, run past it. Ignore that. And you will check if that's a weapon. If that's not the weapon, you will not stab it. I shake lovely my head there. And you will run to extraction. You have to repeat that as many times till you get the weapon you want. It can in total take a few tries till you find the weapon you want, because you need to rotate through everything. Important is that you don't abort the mission. And there I found the Kuva hack. If you found the Kuva hack, you press the button that it's shown to you, and then you will stab the Lich. As I said, it's important that you don't abort it, because if you abort the mission, it will not count towards the rotation. Because the game will remember which weapon you decided to not take, and it will not be in your rotation till you rotate completely through one or you stab the Lich. So don't abort it, run through extraction. When you get out of the mission, the screen will red, the Lich will talk to you, you will see the name of the Lich, and then you can go check. And then you can go check which percentage your Lich has, what its resistance are, and if you have an ephemeral. We got 37% heat. When we talk about Kuva weapons, we often talk about the element we have on it. Most people will suggest magnetic, heat, or toxin for Kuva weapons. But what does it mean? Kuva Liches have a progenitor. This progenitor is your Warframe. Your Warframe determines which element your weapon has and which abilities your Lich has. There's a list that describes this. So if we are going to farm for a heat Kuva hack, we are going to check which Warframe are in there for heat. That would be, for example, Protea. That means we are going to farm the Lich with Protea. Now to the question which weapon you should go for your very first Kuva weapon. I'd suggest the Kuva hack. The Kuva hack is great in taking down Liches and sisters, so farming it as your first weapon will make it a lot easier for later when you continue your hunt for Kuva Liches. I'd suggest to go either for a toxin or a heat progenitor. In this video I'm going for a heat version, simply because heat is a bit easier to farm in the beginning than toxin. You can later on swap the element on your weapon if you want, but it's up to you if you go for heat or toxin. I'm suggesting Nova for your first Lich Hunt. Let's check out which abilities she has. Her first ability is Nullstars. Nullstars creates antimatter particles that orbit Nova and attack nearby targets, which counts as blast damage. These particles reduces damage to Nova. In total you can get 90% damage reduction. You're starting at base strength with 12 particles and 5% reduction per particle, which is not enough to reach the 90% damage reduction. Her second ability is Antimatter Drop. This launches a large ball of charged antimatter that will detonate on contact. You can direct the ball with your camera. Shooting the ball charges it. The ball deals blast damage and applies the status effect to enemies. The third ability is Wormhole. This one opens up a wormhole between two places direct in line. It doesn't work through objects or walls. It helps you to travel distances fast. It is based off your range. Nova's fourth ability is Molecular Prime. You can tap the ability to slow the enemies or hold it to speed them up. It also primes the enemies. This ability is based on your duration for maxed range and not your range. For the build, it is a zero forma build, but I used an Oracle reactor. I'm using Dreamer's Bond since the Aura mod is a mission reward early on. To get maximum damage reduction from null stars, we need minimum 15 null stars with 6% damage reduction per null star. So I'm adding Intensify for more strength. People will tell you Nova need base 150% strength, which is not wrong. But 150% strength is for her 4 to get maximum slow or speed up. Since it's a beginner build, it's simply not achievable and also not necessary. We are using Redirection, Fast Deflection, and Vigilant Vigor for faster shield recharge. If you hover over your shield, you will see how long the time of invulnerability is when your shield is down, and how long it will take till your shield is fully leveled. If you have Redirection at a lower rank, your time of invulnerability is lower, but don't worry, it is still okay. You most likely have Redirection at rank 6 or 8, and that is totally enough. We are using Vitality for more base health. Here the same, you will have it most likely at rank 6 or 8. It will help us survive if our shield is down, or if we get hit by status effects that are ignoring our shields, like Toxin or Slash. Equilibrium is here to balance our energy economy. Molecular Fission is an argument of Nova. When you kill an enemy primed by Nova's 4th, it recharges Nova's null stars. If you don't have it, you will use Flow. If you use Flow, you have to recast your null stars whenever your null star count is going down to keep up the damage reduction, so keep an eye on that. To make our life a bit easier, we are subsuming the ability Silence on Nova. Silence is Banshee's ability. You can get Banshee from your dojo. Silence is an ability that stuns enemy and limits the actions. Means you will hinder your Lich in using their abilities. If you, for example, are running an Impact Lich, they can't use Iron Skin, so it's easier to defeat them. You can decide yourself if you want to subsume it over your 2 or your 3. Now the question where to get Nova. Nova's blueprint you're getting from the market. The parts you're getting from the assassination on Europa. For the weapon, I suggest the hack. The hack you're getting from the market, and it's an MR4 weapon. So super early to get. It is a bit of an investment for an early player, I have to say that. But it will help you a lot for your first Lich and will help you with your progress throughout the Star Chart. It is a 2 former 1 Oracle Catalyst build. The biggest difference between the hack and the Kuva hack we are planning to farm is the Altfire. The normal hack doesn't have the Altfire, but we still make it work. Build-wise, you might need to farm some mods. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and I'm happy to help. We are starting with Point Blank for base damage, Critical Deceleration for critical chance. This mod is a corrupted mod, means you're getting this from the Oracle vaults on damage. If you don't have it, feel free to use Blunderbuss. It will lower your crit chance a bit, but this weapon is still usable. Ravage for critical damage, Hell Chambers and Vigilant Ornaments for multi-shot, Toxic Barrage for Toxin and Status Chance, together with Shard Shell is corrosive. I usually always run corrosive gold against my liches. You need to check if your lich is resistant corrosive or not. The last mod is Thrilling Reload. This one is a nightmare mod. What is a nightmare mod? Nightmare missions appearing on planets where all mission nodes are completed, and they have a modifier to them. Chilling Reload are from the A rotation, so Mars, Earth, Venus, and Mercury. It is unleveled here since we don't have enough capacity, but we still get a bit of cold and a bit of reload, so it is worth in my opinion. To get rid of your Lich, you need Requiem mods. To get Requiem mods, you need Requiem Relics. To get these, you need to do either of 2 mission types, Kuva Siphons or Kuva Floods. With Kuva Siphons, the drop chance of Requiem Relics are 50%. The enemy level is between 25 and 35. Kuva Floods have a 100% drop chance of Requiem Relics, but the enemy level is between 80 to 100. I would suggest to run mostly Siphons since the enemies are lower level there. After you got the Relics, you are running Kuva Fissures, where you open up the relics to get the cards. I suggest to run these publics to have a higher chance to get the Requiem cards you want. In total, there are 9 cards. They are Fas, Jahu, Kra, Lok, Netra, Riz, Worm, and Zadar. The last card is Ul. Ul you can't pull from the Requiem mods. You get it when your Lich flees after you got all 3 cards correct. It has a 25% drop chance. You got your Lich. So we are at the point where you stepped the Kuva Loveling, you have an active Lich, you farmed all of the Requiem mods, and you are ready to take down the Lich. But what now? Your Lich spawns on your first planet, which is Earth. You see the active planet on which your Lich is in red. The missions where you can farm progress to get informations for your Requiem mods have a little symbol next to them and are also a higher level. I would suggest, like I already mentioned for the card runs, to run these missions in public. When you go into the missions, you have your normal mission object, but in addition to that, there will spawn an extra type of enemy called Thrall. These ones you want to mercy kill. Thanks to killing them, you get progress for your Requiem mods. It depends on the mission type, how many enemies in the mission you are killing, how many Thralls are spawning. If it's in a short mission like capture, and you're only killing the capture target, it is common that there are only 2 to 3 Thralls spawning. On long missions like survivals, there are way more Thralls spawning, so it's better to kill as many enemies as possible because that seems to trigger more Thrall spawns. Your goal is to fill up the progress bar of your Requiem mod to know which one you need for your Lich. If your Lich spawns before you know your first card, you don't have to step your Lich. If you step your Lich and your card is wrong, it will leave the planet and rank up. Since it's our first Lich, we try to avoid that. Later on we can do whatever we want, but early on we want to be careful. If a Lich spawns before we have the first card, we attack the Lich, but we don't stab it. Attack it multiple times will force it to despawn. This allows it to have the Lich spawn for another person if you run your Lich in public. How to stab a Lich? We need in total 3 cards. It is in the end a total guessing game. I will explain 2 ways what can happen. I will explain it separately to make it easier to follow. One is a lucky way, one is the worst case way. Way 1. We know our first card, for example, Worm. We're putting the first card into the first slot. Slot 2 and slot 3 are random. Our Lich spawns and we are stabbing our Lich for the first time. When you look at the Lich health bar, you see the Lich has 3 health bars. 1 per Requiem mod. We are getting lucky and our first known card is in the correct spot. We are attacking the Lich again, stabbing it again with the random second mod, we're getting it wrong. If you're wondering why are we stabbing, you are getting progress for stabbing. Your Lich will now move to Mars and rank up to a rank 2 Lich. Now on Mars, you're getting your second Requiem mod unlocked. Same procedure. You're now swapping to whatever you're getting. You have your known mod in slot 1 and now you're putting your second known mod into the second slot. Slot 3 is still your random mod because you never tested that one. Your Lich spawns and you stab twice. Your second card is in the right spot again. You stab a third time and your random guess is wrong. Your Lich will now move to Ceres and is now rank 3. Same play here. You get to know your third mod, for example, Riz. You get to know your third mod, you stab you are correct, and your Lich will move to Saturn Proxima. You take down your Lich in the Railjack mission, and your first Lich is done. So here's an example for how to stab a Lich. My Lich will spawn here. I have my first card into the first slot. I only know my first card here. I stab it first time, it's right. Now I random guess with my second card. And that guess is wrong. So my Lich will move now and rank up, but I get still the progress for the Requiem Murmur. So that's why it's worth it to stab. But what are we doing if we get super unlucky with our guessing game? First card, first guessing, it is wrong. Okay, we're putting up that we have, okay, we currently have Vom, Fast, and Riz. So we're testing Vom in the first slot, and we know Vom is actually one of our casts. So what we will do is we're putting Vom actually in the second slot. We're going to the second planet, get to know the second card. We will put the second card we will say that is Fast in the first slot. But, oh no, Fast, we will know Fast is actually one of our cards, but it's wrong as well. What we will do then is that we'll Fast in the third slot. And we will go now to Ceres, right? So what do we know now? We know that Vom is one of our cards, and we know that Fast is one of our cards. We know that, for example, Riz is our third card. So what we actually just know at this moment is that Riz is in the first slot, right? Because we know that Worm is not in the first slot, and we know that Fast is not in the first slot. So Riz has to be in the first slot. But what we still have to figure out, which of these two cards is in the second slot and which is in the third slot. So technically, we have to win another 50-50. So that is what I'm meaning with getting your cards for your Lich correct as a pure guessing game. So what you have to do on Ceres is when you stab your Lich another time, is it could be still wrong. So it could be that your Lich is still moving to Setna and being a rank 4 Lich. But that is technically the maximum if you don't stab your Lich early at all. So rank 4 is all what you will get, which is still super hard as your first Lich. That's why I'm telling you to run it on public. But it's all you will get. So on Ceres, you know Riz is, or your third card is actually your first in your first slot in the worst case. And then you win your 50-50 for your second and your third. But don't lose your hope. It can be a super rough game, but I'm sure you will get it. When your Lich flee to Saturn Proxima, you have to do a railjack mission, which means you will finish your railjack task, which is usually take down 3 ships and a lot of small little ships. And then you go to the big ship where you go in and have to take down your Lich. When you took down your Lich, you will come to this point here, where you can either convert a Lich or vanquish a Lich. Our goal is to vanquish a Lich because that will take the weapon. Convert a Lich you will do later on if you want to either trade the Lich to someone else or take the Lich as a crew member. But keep in mind, you want to convert the Lich to be able to take the weapon out of your foundry. So convert the Lich. And with that, you officially finished your first Lich. Congratulations. And with that, we are done with our first Lich. I hope that helped a bit. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment. If you liked the video, please leave a like, leave a follow, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.